Percy runs away. Henry, Gordon, James were shut up for several days. At last the Fat Controller opened the shed. "I hope you are sorry," he said sternly, "and I understand you are not so important after all. Edward and Percy have worked the line nicely. They need a change, and I will let you out now. I will let you out if you promise to work hard. Be good." "Yes, sir," said the three engines. "We will." "That's right. But please remember that this nose shunting nonsense must stop." He told Edward, Thomas, and Percy they could go and play on the branch line for a few days. They happily ran off. They ran off happily and found Annie and Clara at the junction. The two coaches were pleased to see Thomas again, and they took him out for a run at once. Edward and Percy played with the trucks. "Stop! Stop! Stop!" as they screamed the trucks as they were pushed into their proper sidings. But two of the engines laughed and went on shunting until they were tidily arranged. Next, Edward took some empty trucks to the quarry. Percy was left alone. Percy didn't mind that a bit. He liked watching trying to be cheeky to the engines. "Hurry, hurry, hurry!" he would call to them, and Henry, Gordon, and James got very cross. After a while, he took some freight cars to the main line and to another siding. When they were tidy, he ran on to the main line again, and waited for the signalman to switch the point so he could get back to the yard. Edward had warned Percy, "Be careful on the main line. Whistle to the signalman that you are there." But Percy didn't remember to whistle, and the signalman was so busy he forgot Percy. The bells rang. The men answered. The sound of the lines was clear, and they sent the signals to the next train. Percy waited and waited. The boards were still against him, so he couldn't move. He looked along the main line. "Beep, beep!" he whistled in horror, for rushing straight toward him was Gordon with the express. "Boop, boop, 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 boop," whistled Gordon. His driver shut off steam and applied the brakes. Percy's driver fell on full stream. "Back, Percy, back!" he urged but his wheels wouldn't turn quickly, so Gordon was coming fast, and it seemed like he couldn't stop. With shut eyes, Percy waited for the crash. He fired the drum and jumped out. "Whoosh! Get out of my way!" Percy opened his eyes, and Gordon had just stopped out his buffers just a few inches from his own. But Percy had begun to move. "I won't stay here. I'll run away," he puffed, and soon cleared out of the station and running as fast as he could. Then went through Edward's station, whistling loudly, and he was so frightened he ran up Gordon's hill without stopping. He was so tired he wanted to stop, but he couldn't. He had no driver to shut off steam and to apply the brakes. I shall have to run until my wheels wear out," he thought sadly. Oh dear, I want to stop, he puffed in a tired sort of way. He passed another signal box. "I know just what you want, Percy," he called the man. He switched the point, and Percy puffed wearily onto a nice empty siding of the ending of a big bank of earth. Percy was now too tired to care where he went. I want to stop. I have stopped," he puffed thankfully. As his buffers buried himself. "Never mind, Percy," said the workmen as they dug him out. "You shall have a drink and some cola, and then you'll feel better." Presently Gordon arrived. Well done, Percy. You started so quickly that you stopped a nasty accident. I'm sorry for being cheeky. I'm sorry. I was cheeky. You were clever to stop. Percy now works in the yard to find and finds coaches for the trains. He is still cheeky, but because is that sort of engine. And but he always most careful when he goes on the main line. Stay tuned for the next RSSM story in 2014, starting series Henry and the Green Express. See you until episode 21.